Hi everybody, it's Az here from HeelvsBabyface on the live servers for Warlords of Draneor with my first world boss encounter of Warlords. And my god, is it going to be something else. This is Drov the RUINER. And it's quite an apt name because he absolutely tore our group apart. Just FYI, before I start the tactics of what the boss does, should we count how many mages and warlocks there are? Because I think there's 15 mages, and I think there was 10 warlocks, but one of them's dropped offline. Oh, so nearly 25 people at the 40 raid. Mages and warlocks, and look at them frostbolts. I just think it's an almighty sight to behold, an amazing sight to behold. Just imagine if Time Warp stacked. Anyway, I digress. Let's get on to some tactics. So what does Drov do? How can you try and counter it and get yourself, fingers crossed, some 650 item level loot from this boss? Well, he'll deal a colossal smash where he'll do a massive frontal cone, and any player that's hit will be struck for 36k damage and smashed up into the air. So obviously coming back down, you'll no doubt take some fall damage. He'll also deal 36k damage to all players nearby. So even if you avoided it, you could still get smashed for another 36k. Isn't that just simply lovely? He'll also do Giga Smash, which he slams the ground, and then he'll deal 52k damage to everybody, to the whole raid. Even bigger ouch. These are big damages coming in. He'll then do Call of the Earth, where he'll slam his palm down onto the ground, and it will cause big vibrations, as well, good vibrations if you're a beach boy, but it'll cause huge vibrations to start shock-waving out from him, and this will attract nearby Gorgrond. So these little Gorgrond will pop up into the fight and start rolling around higgledy-piggledy. Now when they burst out from the ground, they'll deal 20k damage if you are hit by them, and then when they roll around, if you get struck by them, they'll deal 25k damage to you. So this is an almighty amount of damage just flooding in. They'll then bury themselves under the ground once Call of Earth has actually finished. Isn't that kind of them? But some of them will pop up whenever they feel like it. And when they pop up, they'll be a bit more lucid. They'll actually be running around the raid this time, not rolling around. They'll be running around and trying to get their hands on players. Off tanks, if you are still alive, because there's just so much damage flooding in here. If off tanks still are alive, grab them. Try and keep them off the DPS. Otherwise, they will run amok. Because if they do get their hands on a player, they'll spit an acid breath on them. It'll deal 31 odd K damage on hit, on impact. And then it'll deal another 5 or just over 5k damage per second as a tick, as a debuff tick. Ouch! So there's even more horrible damage coming in. And if you're fortunate enough to survive all of that, they've also got a crushing charge where they'll curl themselves back up into a ball, charge at you. If they strike you, not only will you be knocked back, you'll also take a staggering 26k damage to boot. And you can see there are quite a few of them that roam around the fight at any one time. So this fight is just damage, and damage. And I don't know how many healers we had in the group, but clearly not enough. Plenty of DPS, but not enough. Fortunately, a few things to alleviate some fears. The graveyard is very nearby, so if you do die, res up, run back in, and you should hopefully be able to get back into the fight before Drov has managed to reset. This is what we did. Although people are dying left, right, centre, all over the darn shop, it didn't matter because we eventually managed to keep it all together and yeah, that's one way of putting it. We ran back and started and made sure that he didn't reset, is pretty much what I'm saying. So with 40 of us, you know, at least some were alive at one time. The dead people were running back. By the time the dead people got back and got back into the fight, the live people were probably dead. So yes, this is an almighty shambles of a fight. But look, you know, it's day one. People are getting used to stuff. We've got to, you know, just become a little bit more FA, get a little bit more well geared. You know, the raids are going to help with that gearing up. The world boss is going to help with that gearing up. But it's quite interesting to see these kind of fights early on in an expansion's life where you are poorly geared and you don't have a lot of, you know, this, that and the other to keep you alive, and you get this almighty mess. But it was all okay for me, because although I didn't get loot from the boss, I did re-roll because I had some extra coins, or whatever you want to call them this time round, and I got myself some gloves. Some epic 650 item level gloves. So they replaced the 630 that I had on. So again, it just gave me a little bit of a boost for the future. A little bit of extra health, a little bit of extra multi-strike, versatility. It's all gravy, baby, isn't it? So there we go. Drov the Ruiner. My God, he did just that. He did exactly what he said on the tin. And I hope you enjoyed the vid. If you did, please give it a thumbs up and also subscribe to my channel. Follow me on social media as well as twitch.tv for live streaming. All those links are in the description down below, and I'll be back with some more stuff very soon. You take care, everybody. Bye bye.